the invisible chains, why you're stuck and how to begin the rise. You know something's off. You've done the meditations, the affirmations, the journaling, even cleaned your space with sage and played 528 Hz frequencies while you sleep. And yet, your energy feels flat. You're not depressed per se, but you're not alive either. It's like you're floating in a fog, spiritually disconnected, emotionally numb, and mentally scattered. You watch others talk about high vibes and manifesting miracles, and part of you wants to believe it's possible. But another part of you, the honest part, feels stuck, like you're missing something essential. And here's the hard truth. Your vibration isn't rising not because you're doing something wrong, but because something deeper is being ignored. Something invisible. Something invisible. We don't just raise our frequency by doing more spiritual things. We raise it by removing what blocks us from our natural state of expansion. So today I want to take you into the real reasons why your energy isn't rising, and how to fix it in a way that actually lasts. The first reason your vibration isn't rising is because you're bypassing your pain. Spiritual bypassing is one of the most seductive traps on this journey. It's when we use spiritual language, concepts, or practices to avoid facing our unhealed wounds. And I get it. Who wants to dive into the trauma, the grief, the shame we buried decades ago? But the truth is, unresolved pain creates energetic weight. It's like trying to soar with an anchor around your soul. You might be saying positive affirmations, but if your inner child is still silently screaming for validation, the frequency won't match. The universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your state. And if your nervous system is still locked in survival, you can't fake your way into a higher vibration. So what do? You sit with your pain. You listen to it like a sacred teacher. You let the tears come. You give your past the presence it never got. Because healing isn't about erasing the pain. It's about integrating it. And once you do, your vibration naturally begins to rise, not because you forced it, but because you freed it. The second reason your vibration is stuck is because you're addicted to low vibrational habits, but you've normalized them. Let's be brutally honest here. How often do you scroll social media not to connect, but to compare? How often do you stay in conversations that drain your soul because you're afraid of setting boundaries? How often do you consume food, media, or energy that you know pulls you down, yet you justify it with "it's not that bad"? Every choice you make is either feeding your frequency or draining it. And the dangerous part is, most of us are so used to living in a low vibrational loop that we don't even recognize it anymore. We think anxiety is normal. We think exhaustion is just how life is. But that's not truth. That's programming. So if you want to rise, start here. Get radically honest about what you're feeding your field. Audit your habits. Audit your inputs. Audit your energy leaks. And then choose deliberately, consistently to align your behavior with the vibration you say you want. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional every single day. The third reason your vibration isn't rising is that you haven't forgiven. And I'm not just talking about forgiving others. I'm talking about forgiving yourself. We carry shame like invisible armor. We beat ourselves up for past mistakes, for things we said, for things we didn't say, for people we hurt, for opportunities we missed. And every time we revisit those moments with judgment instead of compassion, we lower our frequency. Self-condemnation is one of the heaviest vibrations there is. It keeps us in guilt, which keeps us in cycles of self-sabotage. Why? Because deep down, we don't believe we deserve joy. We don't believe we're worthy of rising. And the universe mirrors that belief back to us. So here's what I want you to understand. Forgiveness isn't about pretending it didn't happen. It's about choosing to no longer let that memory define your identity. You've suffered enough. You've punished yourself long enough. The version of you who made those choices was trying to survive with the tools they had. Can you let that be enough? Can you choose mercy over memory? Because the moment you truly forgive, you lift, you expand, raise. The fourth reason your vibration isn't rising is that you're disconnected from your body. This one is subtle but massive. We live in our minds. We live in our screens. We live in our stories. But we forget that our body is the instrument through which our energy flows. And if the body is tense, tight, frozen, so is the energy. If you're not breathing deeply, if your posture is collapsed, if your gut is in knots, your vibration will reflect that. Your body is not separate from your spirituality. It is your spirituality in motion. So if you're feeling stuck energetically, don't just meditate. Move, stretch, dance, shake. Breathe like your life depends on it. Because it does. Stagnant energy gets trapped in the body, and unless you consciously move it, it stays there, weighing you down. And here's something most people miss. Trauma isn't just emotional, it's somatic. It lives in your cells. So healing isn't just mental, it's physical. The more you honor your body as sacred, the more it becomes a vessel for higher and higher frequencies. You don't need a new mantra. You need to come home to yourself. And now I want to ask you something that might change your entire path. When was the last time you actually felt joy in your body for no reason at all? Not because of achievement, not because someone loved you, not because something external happened, but just because you were alive. Can you remember that feeling? Most people can't. That's how far we've drifted from our natural state. Joy isn't something you earn. It's something you remember. And your vibration rises not when you chase joy, but when you allow it. When you create space for it. When you stop outsourcing it and start cultivating it from within. This is the real work. This is the root of all elevation. It's not about escaping your life. It's about learning how to be so radically present in it that even the mundane becomes sacred. That's when the shift happens. That's when the energy moves. Not when you seek more, but when you feel more. And the beautiful paradox. When you stop trying to rise and start trying to root, you rise effortlessly. The frequency formula. 3 hidden forces that raise your vibration faster than anything else. Let's drop into something deeper now, because the next 3 reasons your vibration isn't rising are not just about what you're doing wrong. They're about what you're missing. These are the hidden forces that no one talks about, forces that, when activated, don't just raise your vibration temporarily, but rewire your entire energetic field. Most people think raising your frequency is about doing more, trying harder, or adding more spiritual practices to your day. But what if I told you it's actually about alignment? When we're out of integrity with our truth, when our inner world doesn't match our outer choices, we create resistance. That resistance creates friction, and friction lowers frequency. So let's talk about something radical, energetic congruence. This is the 5th reason your vibration is stuck. You say you want peace, but you entertain chaos. You say you want love, but you tolerate disrespect. You say you want expansion, but you keep shrinking to fit into spaces you've outgrown. The universe doesn't respond to your desires. It responds to your vibration. And your vibration is a result of your alignment. So if you want to rise, stop asking for things and start becoming the version of you who is already living them. Every decision you make, every yes, every no is either broadcasting I am ready or I am afraid. And nothing shifts until you choose differently. One of the most powerful and yet most overlooked tools for raising your vibration is service. Not as performance, not to be seen, but as a quiet, sacred act of love. This is the sixth reason your vibration may be stagnant. You've become energetically self-absorbed. And I don't say that as blame. I say it as truth. In our quest to grow, heal, and find our path, it's easy to become consumed by our own story. But your soul didn't just come here to work on itself. It came here to give. And giving doesn't always mean starting a nonprofit or saving the world. Sometimes it means being available to life, to people, to energy. It means listening when someone speaks. It means holding space for someone else's pain without trying to fix it. It means offering your presence without needing to be the center of attention. When you serve from the overflow, not from guilt or obligation, you unlock a frequency that no mantra can replicate. You step into the vibration of oneness. And in oneness, separation dissolves. Lack dissolves. Fear dissolves. Because you remember, we rise together. And if your vibration has been plateauing, maybe it's time to shift the question from what can I get to how can I give with love today. Let's go even deeper now. The seventh reason your vibration isn't rising is because you've forgotten how to receive. And this one is sneaky because most people think they're open. But when we dig beneath the surface, we find the walls, the armor, the subconscious belief that says, I have to do everything on my own, or I don't want to owe anyone, or if I receive, I'll be vulnerable. And those beliefs create energetic blocks. You can do all the right things, meditate, visualize, speak your desires, but if you're not open to actually receive what you ask for, the vibration won't move. Receiving is a skill. It's a frequency. It requires softness, openness, trust. It requires letting go of control, and that terrifies the ego. But the soul knows how to receive. The soul knows that every answered prayer already exists. The only question is, can you receive it when it arrives? Can you let love in even if it doesn't look the way you expected? Can you say thank you without guilt? Can you enjoy without needing to earn it? This is the frequency of abundance, not just in money, but in joy, connection, and fulfillment. And it's not about getting what you want. It's about allowing what already wants to come to you. So let me ask you something, maybe the most important question of your entire spiritual journey so far. If everything you've been asking for showed up at your door tomorrow, would you actually let it in? Or would you push it away with doubt, fear, or unworthiness? Because here's the truth. The universe doesn't withhold. It reflects. And if your outer world feels slow, stuck, or empty, it's not because you're cursed. It's because somewhere you're not ready to receive. Not yet. But that can change. The moment you decide to trust again, to soften again, to say yes to life even when it scares you, that's when the energy shifts. That's when the walls begin to melt. That's when the frequency rises, not because you forced it, but because you finally allowed it. And that's the real formula. Not force, not hustle. Alignment, service, receiving. These are the gateways. These are the upgrades. These are the sacred codes that change everything, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. The final unlock, how to sustain high vibration in a low frequency world. So you've done the work. You've acknowledged the pain you were bypassing. You've purged low vibrational habits. You've forgiven yourself and come back into your body. You've started aligning your actions with your truth, serving from love and opening to receive. You've felt the shift. You've tasted the lightness, the clarity, the alignment. But here's where the real challenge begins. Not in raising your vibration, but in sustaining it. Especially when the world around you is heavy. Especially when the people closest to you are still stuck in old patterns. Especially when life throws curveballs, as it inevitably will. This is the part most people aren't prepared for. They think the spiritual high will last forever. But energy doesn't work like that. Energy is alive. It moves, it contracts and expands. The key isn't staying in a perfect state of bliss. The key is learning how to return to your center, again and again, no matter what pulls you off. And that comes down to one thing: energetic resilience. Energetic resilience is the ability to hold your frequency even when the world around you doesn't match it. It's when someone else's fear doesn't become your fear. It's when you can walk into a room full of chaos and still be the calm. It's when you can sit across from someone projecting their pain and not absorb it. And this isn't about being cold or detached. It's about being anchored. When you're anchored in your truth, you don't need to convince others of it. You're not triggered by their disbelief. You're not shaken by their projections. You see it all as energy and you choose what enters your field. But here's the catch. You can't wait until the storm hits to strengthen your foundation. You have to build daily practices that protect and replenish your energy. You have to treat your vibration like your most prized asset, because it is. That means setting boundaries not just with others, but with your own mind. That means choosing silence when the noise gets too loud. That means saying no to things that might be popular but feel wrong. And it means knowing deep in your bones that protecting your peace is not selfish, it's sacred. Now let's talk about something that most spiritual teachers avoid because it's uncomfortable: loneliness. When you begin to rise, you will often find yourself standing alone. That's not because you're better than others. It's because your frequency is no longer compatible with certain dynamics. You'll notice conversations that once excited you now feel empty. You'll feel irritation in places that used to feel familiar. You'll crave depth, presence, and intentionality, and feel the sting when others can't meet you there. This is not a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that you're evolving. But here's where many people fall. They lower their vibration to maintain connection. They dim their truth to avoid judgment. They shrink to stay accepted. And in doing so, they betray the very frequency they worked so hard to cultivate. So I'll ask you this: what are you willing to lose in order to stay in integrity with your soul? Because rising means letting go. Not with bitterness, but with love. You can honor people from afar. You can release old roles with gratitude, but you must not abandon yourself. Your vibration is your compass. And if you follow it, even through the loneliness, it will lead you to the tribe, the purpose, the love that matches you, not the mask you used to wear. And finally, let's talk about the ultimate sustainer of high vibration: devotion. Not discipline, not hustle, devotion. Devotion is what turns spiritual practice into a way of life. It's what keeps your energy clean, your heart open, your mind clear. It's waking up and choosing presence even when it would be easier to numb. It's returning to your breath when fear wants to hijack your thoughts. It's showing up for your rituals not because you have to, but because you get to. Devotion is love in motion. And in a world that tries to seduce you back into distraction, devotion is your rebellion. It's your anchor, your home. And the beautiful part? Devotion doesn't have to look grand. It can be lighting a candle with intention, drinking tea while watching the sunrise, speaking to your higher self before making a decision. Every small act becomes sacred when done with presence. And this is how we sustain the rise, not through perfection, not through performance, but through presence, through remembering day after day, breath after breath, that our vibration is not something we chase. It's something we choose.